It is New Year's Eve and I'm in the mood to do some clearing up, and the first thing I did was I had a really nice bath. Now I have to do this. Ugh. This is the tote that I use. I carry it everywhere in the house with me. It has all my bits and pieces. Usually there's an iPad in here, there's notebooks and sewing and everything else, and it's gotten over full. There's too much stuff in here. There's a lot of stuff in here that I don't even know what it is. We're into January. This is the time of year that I am kind of looking forward to what's going to happen in this new year. We've got big things happening this year. More on that another time. So there's a bunch of things that I need to do. There's a lot of to-do lists, a lot of kind of meetings and things that I'm working on. Let's have a look at the way I'm going to plan things out for this year. This is probably the thing I rely on the most. It is my big planner. I don't remember which year I got this. It was a Christmas present from Chad. I kind of and I did give him the link of like exactly what I wanted. I got it off a vendor on Etsy, but look what he had written on it: happy writing, you creative witch, love you so much. Which is very funny because he said he didn't realize when he got this he wrote the message and didn't realize that the message would end up on there, but it's fine. It's very subtle. It's basically a file of facts, but it's leather and it's really hefty, which is excellent because I have these little pouches at the front where I keep pencils, and these are little scraps of inspiration. So True Seed is a local seed company. You can actually go to the shop, and if you check out one of my videos, I actually went there. They have this catalogue, and every time they do a catalogue, they use a local artist to do the front illustration, and I really loved this very graphic, folk arty look to it, and I thought, I'll keep hold of that for some ideas and inspiration. So then I've got all of these sections because I work on a lot of different projects. I have a full-time job. I also do some contract work where I create online courses, as well as the Open Coven stuff. So I need to divide all of that up, really. So I've got at the front all of the notes that I take and plan for my videos, whether they are the YouTube vlog videos or the shorts. And all of the kind of notes for that end up in here. What I also love about this thing is, unlike a standard journal or notebook, when I'm done with something, I can rip out the page and throw it away so that it doesn't get too full and I'm not carrying around a lot of old notes. So I didn't love having to buy plastic, but I did have to replace these cardboard ones, because after several uses, like for a year or so, these got really mushy and they weren't satisfying to use. So I ended up investing in some plastic ones, and I hope they should last longer, so that's why. I got this really cool planner from Muji, and I love it. It is blank, and what I do is I use this for planning out when I'm going to post videos and when I'm going to potentially post shorts as well. So it's a bit blank right now because I haven't sat down and kind of figured out the next few weeks or the month, but I'll fill all of that in eventually. In Britain, we would call this a diary, and in America, they call it a calendar. To me, a calendar's on the wall, but anyway. So this year, I went with the Wee Moon one. Because I'm a witch, I love this Wee Moon calendar. I didn't use it last year, and I missed it. I bought like a kind of plain one. And it wasn't very inspiring to use. I don't always remember the moon phases and things. And so sometimes I'm like, oh, are we in a waning moon or waxing moon? And so I wanted something that would tell me that. The other thing I love about the Wee Moon calendar is they have these little articles throughout the year that are fantastic. Some of them are about the pagan wheel of the year. So obviously this one, next holiday we've got is in bulk. And there's always beautiful illustrations. There's also poems and other artwork. See this line? I've added this line. This really came with like a little file of facts pack I got when I got this actual folder. And what I do is I use it to rule a little section here, and that's my to-do list for each day. And then here are all the appointments that I need to do. The appointments I put in here are not usually work appointments. I have an Outlook calendar that we use for work stuff. This is more for contract work or for personal stuff. I always use pencil for appointments because sometimes things change and then the appointments get cancelled or rescheduled. And I don't like to kind of cross things out. So I always use a pencil for my appointments and then a pen for the to-do list. This is sort of, if you were to break it down, this is sort of the macro, but this is also kind of different because this is only for my open coven blogging and vlogging, and then this is for everything else that goes on in my life. In here is post-it notes, and sometimes I use the post-it notes in here for things that are temporary and that I can take away later. Sometimes I'll put them in the diary too if I need to remember something and I don't have the space. So I always keep some post-it notes. I have the bigger ones as well, but these are an ideal size for this. And you probably thought, well, if she's got a big folder, a big file of facts full of paper and planners, that's all she carries around. If only that were true. The original point of the file of facts was to get rid of all of the notebooks I was carrying around because it was getting excessive. But unfortunately, if you're a fan of notebooks like I am, it's a tough habit to break. And then also people buy you notebooks, so that's the other thing. But this is like my journal. I do carry it around with me sometimes. I'm going to try and get out of that habit because honestly, it's heavy. It's got a hard back. And I love this journal. I love the hardback cover. And they have really nice, I can show you the pages and they're blank. The great thing about the pages in this one is that they don't bleed through. So I use a Sharpie and a brush pen. So this is my diary. So this one is not going to start traveling around with me. Because the other thing is this, if I lose this and it's got all my like personal thoughts in, not that there's anything very private in here. It's actually quite boring. But you don't want to lose it. So I'm going to have to come up with a way to keep it in the house. This is a really beautiful journal, an Orla Kearley that Chad got me from Ireland when he went for a big trip with his dad and his brother. This is a kind of, I've used this for my ministry notes. If you all remember, I did my community ministry certificate. I definitely prefer writing with a pen over typing. I can't get ideas to flow. It's too much like my job. So in order to really kind of get things on paper, which I'm trying to do more and more of, I really need a pen and a notebook. I have discovered an app where you can take a picture of your handwritten notes and turn them into text, and it's free. It isn't foolproof, but it's pretty good for my purposes. So what I'll do is write in here and in my other journals, and then I can scan that. And that has made the mental flow much easier. So then I also have this one, and this was a birthday present off Chad. I can totally get why he bought me this. This is very much my aesthetic. I think he kind of fell in love with the cover. I'm actually using it for my blog and my vlog. So The reason I'm using this one for it is it's got perforated pages and I can just rip them out. So this is like just notes and captions for one of my videos, and I'm going to just like rip them out and then throw them away. So that's for that. Then finally, I have this. I have in here all of my consultancy notes. Again, I prefer to handwrite things. We also do, I work with a partner and we do actually use a shared Google Drive and stuff to put things on. But when we're like having conversations or when I'm trying to figure out things, I like to write them down. So this is what this is about. And this is the cover that's in. So those are all of my notebooks, and I'm hoping to consolidate all of these down. Now, I don't carry these around with me. They don't go with me anywhere. They stay here usually. And if I come up with ideas or I write something down, then the great thing is that I have the file of facts for that, and it has lined paper in it. And so it doesn't really matter if I don't carry them around with me. Everything all ends up in one place. Ooh, it's a good crack.
Look at the steam come on.
I know, right?